there's a difference between losing trying to implement a manager's style of play and losing because of boneheaded individual errors that were happening under the previous manager. And Erik ten Hag, we're still seeing set-piece goals, and they've gone up significantly under Amorim, which that's down to having a goalkeeper that's not comfortable dealing with crosses. That hasn't changed from last year. It's still a big factor this year. It just happens to be even more magnified because it's back-to-back weeks with Olympico, so that always sprinkles a little bit of salt bay in the wounds. But the things
they're pouring salt like they're in a salt cave. Everything. We'll do Olympics in a week.
But the things that, as a manager, and I would love to be a fly on the wall in the conversation he's having today, and maybe even on the coach back or the flight back, probably the coach back to Manchester after the matches, when you have your captain, Bruno Fernandes, who lacks discipline, who continues to get red cards in key moments, when you're trying to build something as a manager, you put the tactics out there, and then your captain, who's supposed to lead by example, not just offensively, we know the quality he has. This guy, when he's locked in, when he has everything between the ears locked in, he is a world-class talent. He does things like this, that is down to the player.
Who else can you really trust?
Harry Maguire. I was just...
Harry Maguire.
Harry Maguire is great.
Harry Maguire.
Erik ten Hag tried to get rid of him 3 times. He turned back to him, and Harry Maguire coming back into the team, he improved the team. He is rock solid. In fact, a few of them could learn a few lessons from the way Harry Maguire conducted himself throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, is there a word that he had? Humility?
Harry Maguire?
Yeah.
100%.
Humble.
Never made a fuss. Never spoke. He said, "Yeah, I'm disappointed not to be playing." Had the captaincy taken away from him. I mean,
I co-sign with that.
I would say he is the most reliable. He's the most rock solid there.
Diallo, another name.
Yeah, in terms of leadership?
He's
talking about Ahmad.
Oh, in terms of a future at the club.
Just trust, period, at this point.
Oh.
Speaking of evaluations and assessing, Ruben Amorim's got to think, all right, he's seen enough through 8 games and been like...
Listen, he knew all this.
Right,
he
for
knew
sure.
Before he got there. There must be a plan. Now, of course, a lot of what goes on in football clubs, we don't get to hear about on the outside. So he would have said to Ineos before coming in, okay, we've got the January window. What can we do? Who can we get rid of? What money do we have, if anything? Obviously, they've got to think about the financial situation there as well. This is not a surprise to Ruben Amorim. Not at all. Now, obviously, he would have hoped for better results, but he doesn't look remotely fazed about how badly it's going at the moment.
It does feel like it's part of a plan, and probably
100%.
not. It doesn't feel comfortable for Manchester United fans to hear that, because you start sliding down the table, and group chats are going crazy. You probably want to defend your club, and remember, this is supposedly the biggest club in the world. This is on par with Ala Madrid. This should be the glory Man United, and right now it's not. And it's the stadium is falling apart. There's a leak in the conference room while they're trying to do a post-game conference. It feels like everything is falling apart on the pitch in particular. If you're winning, all of that goes away, and they're not at the moment. But you have to assume that this is leading to a position where Ruben Amorim gets his way, where he can play his 3-4-3. Players understand it, and they're back to fighting for the badge. And it doesn't feel like we're there yet. I don't know what step we're on, but if it's a 10-step program, it feels like we're on step 5 right now. And that's uncomfortable.
There's a